Let me talk to y'all real quick, man. Quick little conversation. What's going on with you guys, man? Hope all is well. Hope y'all doing good, feeling good, and etc. God bless this beautiful day we have, man. But let's jump into the topic. Topic is society hates introverts. That's right. The world that we live in does not like introverts. See, us introverted people are not well received by the rest of society because we get looked down upon as frugal. We get looked down upon as being arrogant, being, uh, you know, antisocial. They like to throw that word around a lot. We're often labeled as being too quiet, right? I've had people in my life accuse me of being too quiet, right? When people say, oh man, you're so quiet, you're so quiet, you're so, shy and all that stuff. You know how they like to throw those little words around, but you see, that's an insult, right? That's like the equivalent of telling you talk too damn much, right? That's like somebody telling you talk too damn much, you're too loud. You need to simmer it down a little bit, right? When somebody tells you you're too quiet, oh, you're too shy, you need to open up more. That's the same thing of being accused of being too loud, being too obnoxious, talking too much, right? It's like you can never win. You can never win. It's like you're too quiet, you're either too quiet or you're too loud, right? It's kind of hard to have a balance of being of quiet and loud, right? But in my opinion, there is no such thing as being too quiet and too loud. The way I see it, if you got something to say, then say it. If you got something you got to get off your chest, then say it. Now you may come across as somebody that's talkative or ambiguous or somebody that, likes to run the mouth a lot. But you could just be someone that has a lot to say, has a very, very opinionated, right? And there's also no such thing as being too quiet. Listen, if you ain't got nothing to say nothing at all. It's not because you're incapable of talking. No. It's not because you're incapable of being social. No. It's not because you just can't talk. I find, introverted people to be very good talkers, right? Intelligent. They're very wise with their words. Introverts are very good at accentuating their words. Knowing how to speak, knowing how to communicate. It's just the stigma surrounding them is antisocial. The stigma is they're not social at all. People think they're weird. People think they're strange. There's a lot of suspicion surrounding introverts nowadays, right? But you see, I think that's BS because, like I said, there's no such thing as being too quiet. The way I was taught, when my mom told me was, if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. If you ain't got nothing nice to say, or better yet, if you ain't got nothing respectful to say, don't say anything at all. Keep your mouth shut. There's a time and place to keep your mouth shut and to open your mouth. Yeah. See, it's important to create that balance. But you see, when people are so accustomed to seeing you, they're accustomed to seeing you closing your mouth, not speaking much, not being as social. That's when they want to start throwing labels at you, right? They want to start accusing you of being shy, too quiet, you know. And like I said, it's an insult because that's the equivalent of telling you talking too much or you too loud, right? That's the same thing. And when they say that, they're being very passive aggressive. My entire life, I have been accused of being shy and quiet. My entire life since I was like 4, 5 years old. In school, at work, I would get so many comments directed at me. Oh, you're so quiet all the time. You never talk. You know. And then there be times where it's like, man, I open up, get out my shell a little bit, and then I start rambling, and I get told to shut the hell up. You know what I'm saying? There be times where I just open my mouth, and then I get told to shut up. I get told to stop talking. I get told to, oh, you talk too damn much, right? So like that would really offend me because it's like, dude, I can't win. I really can't win. So like if I open up and I get out of my perceived shell, quote unquote shell, then I'm just being too loud. I'm talking too damn much. But then when I withdraw and I'm quiet and I stop talking and I be less social, that's when I get the whole, oh, you too quiet. You never talk. You need to open up more. So here's the thing, man. I would speak when it was appropriate and necessary for me to speak. And then I would shut my mouth, stay quiet when it was necessary and appropriate. You see, a wise man only uses a few words, right? When they speak, people listen. A wise man doesn't have to talk and talk and talk and run their mouth constantly. A wise man don't need to be heard all the time, you know, but they talk, they speak when necessary. So if I ain't got shit to say to you, I'm not going to talk. You can get in your feelings all you want. You can judge me all you want. It's not going to change the fact that's just how I'm wired. Because I am wise out here. I speak when necessary. You only speak when you have something intelligent and something of wisdom to say. I observe people when they start talking, they speak, and they say nothing but nonsense. Nothing but bullshit be coming out their mouth. And they just be talking about anything. Nothing of relevance. Nothing important to say. Nothing to really add to the conversation. But those be the people that the world likes. The world likes those type of people. Society loves those type of people because those are what you call extroverts. The ones that are more social, the ones that are more outgoing socially, the ones that talk more. The thing about an extrovert is they don't like to be alone. And they're not too comfortable with being by themselves. But I can talk about that in a whole different video. Right now, we're talking about introverts right now, right? How society does not like introverts. They hate introverts, right? And after observing, like, just humans in general, right? They don't take a liking very well to people that are less social, because they get dismissed and they get looked at as weird, being strange, suspicious, etc. Right? But it's like they have no idea how to talk to you. They want to throw sticks and stones about your introverted ways. But you see, they don't ever take the time to understand, why is it that you are the way you are? Why are you introverted to begin with? See, we're all introverted for a reason. We're all a little bit less social for a reason. You know, I would go as far as to say that introverts nowadays are more accepted in society, but we're still hated in some ways, right? But back in the day, if you were an introvert, you were hated. Oh man, you were definitely hated on, man. I'll tell you this, man. I'll tell you this much about me. In school, middle school in particularly, I was public enemy number one. That's right. Your boy was public enemy number one because of how introverted I was. Being perceived as antisocial, right? And going into the school, it was hard for me to make friends. It was hard to really get to know people because everybody just seemed to, I don't know, I guess the culture, I would say, in the school was very foreign to me. You know, I was going through a thing called culture shock. And this was a whole new environment, a whole new set of people, new energy, new environment. And I just could never click with people within that school. Middle school, high school, I had a very hard time. So because I had a hard time, and because I was lacking social skills, which I believe, if we're being honest here, man, you know, social skills is, being sociable is a very untaught skill in our world. I believe if we were given a class, if we were given a master class on how to be sociable, how to socialize, having social skills and etc., we would have been better off, getting to know people better, communicating well, opening up to people, and just being more engaging with folks if there was a master class in how to be social. And I believe, being sociable is a skill. Because if it wasn't a skill, then everybody would be social, right? The whole world, fam, is not social. We're not the best social creatures on the planet. Even though we are, but we're not the best at it. There are some people in the world that are better at it than others, right? Which is why I say it would be necessary to have a masterclass on how to be more sociable, But I regress, I digress. But when it comes to being introverted, man, you are who you are. And if people want to judge you, let them judge you, Like I said, I was public enemy number one. People could not stand me. People could not, get to know me, right? And they would have these preconceived notions about me. And everybody just had a very negative opinion on me, right? So I had no chance of fitting in with people because I was a new kid on the block. Everybody else knew each other. Everybody else was engaged with one another. Everybody was kind of, tight, grouped up together. And me, I was just solo dolo, outcasted, the black sheep, just kind of, at a standalone by my damn self, right? So that's one of the battles that I had to face being an introvert. And this applies to the workplace, corporate jobs. People are very quick to call you out if, they notice how quiet you are, how less social you are. And you know what, man, that should not even be happening. Because at the end of the day, you're there to get your work done. You got a job to do, and you get paid to do the job. You don't get paid to be social. You don't. You don't get paid to be talking to everybody. You don't get paid to, gossip about people and spreading negative drama about people. You don't get paid for that, man. You get paid to show up, clock in, do your work, get the job done, and go home. What's this whole thing of, being social all the damn time? Listen, people are who they are. And if you're judging people just because they talk a little bit less than you do, you have a problem. That's a problem that you have. And you need to get over that problem because that shit is lame. To be judging people for not being as social like you, for being a little bit less talkative at the workplace because they choose to talk when necessary, like me. I choose when to talk. You see, I'm just not mute over here. I'm not completely mute. I speak when necessary, when I have something to say. And I notice when I speak, people tend to listen, right? Because it's important of what I have to say. And it's something intelligent to say. I believe that people who talk all the damn time, they have less important things to be saying. What comes out of their mouth is nothing but foolishness, nonsense, okay? Irrelevant stuff comes out of their mouth because they talk too damn much, because they never know how to utilize their words, But that's a gift that introverts tend to have, is that we know how to utilize our words and we speak up when necessary. And it's something important. It's something relevant, right? It's something intelligent to say. So we have that gift, while these extroverts, they don't. No disrespect to extroverts. If you an extrovert, I mean no disrespect to you. But sometimes y'all be coming at us thinking that we're just all the way mute. We don't like to be social. You just look down on us like we ain't shit. And I got a problem with that. I do. And you not cool for coming at people who don't talk as much. If you sit up at the workplace judging people because, they seem too quiet to you or they're not as social, listen, man, you need to knock that shit off, man. Male or female, you need to knock that shit off. That's lame as hell. Let that person be him or her. That person is who they are. Let them be. Leave them alone. There's probably a reason why they are the way they are and they're so withdrawn. They could be going through some things in their own personal life. You don't know. Because you're too damn judgmental. You're too judgmental. And that's the problem. Why would anybody want to talk to you? Why would I want to talk to you if you're so judgmental towards someone like me? Because I choose not to talk as much. I choose not to be as social. I'm not going to want to speak to you if you're constantly judging me for not being as talkative like you, for not always opening up. That's lame, bro. That's lame. That ain't cool. That person is going to have more of a reason to be withdrawn, to be an introvert. Because if you want them, right? If you want an introvert, let me just say this. If you want an introvert to open up more to you, you need to approach them in a different way. By you approaching them in a way that only encourages them to want to be more introverted, to want to be less social, that's exactly what they're going to be, right? Because if you're judging them and you're being passive aggressive towards them because they're too quiet, then they're never going to open up to you. They're never going to have a reason to want to talk to you and get to know you, right? Your approach is all wrong. You have the wrong approach towards introverts. You need to change your approach. How about you be more engaging to them? Instead of trying to question why they're so introverted or less talkative, how about you just simply ask them a question? You know, what their interests are, what they're into. You know what I'm saying? Be more welcoming. How about you invite them to sit at the table for lunch with you and the rest of your friends? You know what I'm saying? Why not just make that person feel more welcome in your clique? And if that person says no, and if they're not interested, let them be. Don't pressure them to want to hang out. Don't press them. Don't force them. But try and be more welcoming, engaging. Don't judge them because they're less social than you are. Right? Because they don't always have a lot to say. Because they're minding their own business and getting their job done. They're there to get the work done. They're not here to make a bunch of friends like you. So that's all I got to say about that, man. I've been out here long enough rambling, but I had to get this off my chest, man. The overall message is, the world as a whole, they hate us introverts, man. They don't like us. It is what it is, but we don't care because at the end of the day, introverts only speak when necessary. So with that being said, hope this video helps out any introverts gain some clarification and giving y'all some, information on why you're not well liked in certain places and why you're not accepted. And the fact of the matter is, introverts in general are not accepted. They're not. So that being said, make sure y'all like the video for the algorithm. Let's trigger the algorithm. Subscribe if you are new. And this is Mr. Solo Dolo, and I'm out. Peace.